Just what a great college basketball game. The history between our programs has been full of great basketball games, and this one was just like all of them have been. Really proud of our guys. I thought from start to finish, we were really focused on executing defensively, the things that we talked about with this team. It's so tough when you play a team so many times. Our guys are really familiar with each other, and the other part of it is just executing. And I felt our guys did a great job of finding each other, executing on both ends of the floor, and competing as well. Those two things for this team is what's going to take us and get us on to the next game when we execute and compete the way that we did tonight. I mean, it's just going to be tough for us, for anybody to beat us, honestly. Especially at the end of the game. These guys, we played the last, 2.5 minutes without Monzaigo at the point, and they were pressing. He's not only, what he means to our basketball team, but, he's also our best free throw shooter at the end of games, and for our guys to battle in that last 2.5 minutes without him being on the floor at that point of the game when they're making their run, and they're such a really good team, and they were aggressive, and they made some plays, and that's what great teams do at the end of the game. But really proud of the way our guys finished this game off.
Questions?
Coach, can you talk about the effort off your bench tonight? Everybody scored, everybody had rebounds,
yeah.
And a little bit about, I'm probably going to mispronounce his name.
Be doing that okay?
Yes.
I got you.
He had 7 points, 6 rebounds. It looked like he was really sharing ball.
Well, that's what's been the one of the greatest things about this team is, B's had a rough, last 6 basketball games or so. Hadn't played very much. I'm not sure. I think he's had some games where he hadn't played at all or played a couple minutes, and he's been definitely trying to find his way. And for him to come in the game and give us what he gave us tonight, it's just hard to do, and it's tough, when you're sitting and not knowing if you're going to play, and then come in and give such a big effort and make such a big contribution that he made for us tonight was, pretty incredible. He's big, he can run, he's really athletic, and he just gives us another dimension. So I'm really happy for Abiodun.
Coach, talk about beating the team for a 4th time this season, especially in this big arena right now, to advance this finals. Is that an advantage to you guys seeing these teams 4 times? Or?
Well, the one thing that I think it helps you, in these tournament games is when you play a back-to-back, you just know each other's teams so well. It's different in preparing for basketball games. We felt like, we know each other, they know us, we know them. We could go back and look at the games that we played and see if, what we did well against them and the things that we feel like we can do better. But it's just so tough when 2 teams know each other so well to get points and to be able to score the basketball. And again, I'm just proud about the way our guys competed and executed today and finished off this basketball game.
Monzaigo, if you could answer basically the same question, how physically and mentally drained is it to play a game against Tarleton?
It's real physical. Throughout the whole basketball game, we know both teams are gonna make their run. But at the end of the day, we got the final run, so I'm proud of our guys the way they played today.
Cam, could you answer that as well?
First of all, I just give thanks to the Lord Jesus Christ, first of all. And they're a really tough team. Like Coach says, we played each other like 4 times now, and we know each other's sets and what's not. So it's very difficult playing against them. And they're a really good team. Hats off to Tarleton.
Coach, Tarleton's trying to heat up a little bit.
Just get a stop, just find a way to get a stop. and we feel like if we can get stops, of course, we felt like we were rebounding the ball really well and making sure they didn't get any second chance points off of it. It's really tough. when you're up in a basketball game late in the game and the team is really coming at you. And I thought they did a great job of putting in their press at the time they did in the basketball game, and then pushing the ball hard. I know Chucky pushed it hard. They ran some good sets to get Upchurch the basketball. I thought Lee got in there and Andrews got in there and made some plays. And even Mabry just popped up and made that three late. I mean, those guys just never gave up and relentless throughout the basketball game. But we just want to get stops. This is what this team is built upon. Our guys really focus on it. It's great to hear whatever point in the basketball games you hear guys coming in and timeouts and all they're talking about are getting stops, getting stops, getting stops. Let's get stops. Let's finish off with getting big rebounds. And so, that's what wins basketball games. And, if the other team doesn't score, have a hard time scoring, and we're getting rebounds, and, we can get out and transition and do some things. So.
You had mentioned the previous 3 games. What were the 3 things to you, or the things that had to change for those 3 from those 3 games?
Well, I felt execution-wise, offensively, we needed to do a better job in our offense. We talk a lot about, competing and all of that, but we can't compete so hard that we're not executing offensively what we need to be doing. I think we held them to their season lows. I think they had 66 maybe in one game and 75 in another game. So I felt like we could guard them, and we were in position if we kept doing the things that we were doing and try to do them a little bit better. But offensively, I felt like we needed to execute better, to score more, to be up in these games. So, and I, again, Slater here mentioned, Abiadoun. He gave us some huge minutes in that stretch in that first half where Eddie was in foul trouble. And, those guys are so big and athletic underneath. And I know he missed some chippies underneath the basket, but being able to get a second chance points and when that ball is up in the air and you force those guys to maybe take some contested shots, he was really aggressive in getting rebounds.
Cam, you guys had a 15-point lead in the second half. Among the team, did you guys discuss, this game isn't over yet? What did the coaching staff tell you as well?
Yeah, most definitely. We know the game wasn't over. After the first half, we put that half behind us. We know coming out to the second half was going to be a brand new playing field. So they made a run, but we kept our composure and just stayed in it.
Coach,
Well, one, I really didn't have to say anything. The one thing, we got up maybe 12 in that first half, 12 or 13 points maybe. We had it double digits, and then they made their run. I think we made maybe a couple mistakes and turned the ball over a little bit. I'm not sure if they pressed at the end of that half. I think they did, and got us sped up a little bit. And so, being up 6, I felt like our guys were upset that we finished off the half the way that we finished it off, and should have been up more in that first half. So I didn't have to say much, just to encourage the guys to keep doing what we're doing defensively, keep chasing the ball, keep guarding, and, just be prepared for another 20 minutes of a battle.
Coach, all year we talked about, a lot of people talk about Tarleton's depth and playing 2 guys. And
Right.
You played 11 guys tonight.
Right.
What was your own depth and how it's going on?
Well, we've always felt like all year that we've had great depth. We've had some new guys that have had figured some things out, and as they figured it out, their roles, they've been great at their roles and what they give us. Who our starting 5, but I've said it all the time. Jermichael Rivers, DeJuan Plummer, those guys. I consider them as starters. They can score for us. They played in big time ball games for us for this university. And then when you look at Tavarion, Nix, and Abiadoun Adegoke, and Devon Jones. Those guys have given us defense and rebounding, and they scored a high clip around the basket. And so those guys, give us some big play. And then Kevin Wagner, off the bench. He made some big plays for us. And just like Abiadoun, sometimes he may not play very many minutes. Depending upon playing behind Monzaigo, not knowing what his role is or how many minutes he's going to play in that game, but he just seems to be able to step out on the floor and give us great minutes. Never argues about it, just gets out there and gives us the minutes he can give us.
See, what was the game, and then what was your thought process when you get the fifth, Chuck kind of leans into you, gets that call, and then you have to sit and watch that?
I mean, it's kind of hard watching on the sideline, you know, when it's close like that, because you want to be in the game to help your team win the game. But I mean, on the sideline, you know, my guys just told me keep my head up, and it's gonna bring it home for me, and that's exactly what they did.
You had baseball the way.
Yes, sir.
She's going to get to play again.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Coach, with the game as close as it is, you think that goal that might have been different. How big is that knowing that you guys can execute that?
Well, you know, we talked about it. You know, we definitely want to push the basketball up the floor. We have wings that are athletic and that can run. Our big guys can get up down the floor pretty quick. And when you're able to get stops and rebounds, you just put yourself in position and be able to you know, push it down there hard and see if you can, you know, get an easy basket, whether it's a layup or maybe a penetrating pitch to an open shot. So it's definitely something we talk about with this team. But again, it starts with getting stops and being able to rebound the basketball.
And on the top of getting stops, held them to 5 assists for the whole game on 20 million buckets. What does that mean about the way you guys really kind of shut down the passing lane?
Well, I mean, you know, these guys fight for each other, and you know, it's probably the first year with the team that I'm okay with guys telling me I need a break, you know, and these guys are okay with telling me they need a break because they want to give 110% when they're out there on the floor. And I've got guys, they give it to me, they come out, they know they're coming back in, and as long as they give me 110%, you know, I'm okay with it. So it's, you know, that's what it is.
Not worried about Shifty, left.
Sure.
David Blackburn on the break, and he must have rifled a pass, like between two defenders. Watching that, what's going through your head?
I don't even remember the play.
Yeah, I think he did Michael.
Did he score it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was happy. I was happy.
From our perspective, it didn't look like there was a lot of room.
Well, you know, the thing about X is, and he didn't shoot it well tonight. You know, he was 1 for 9 from the field, but again, he gave us 11 big rebounds and then 2 assists and made free throws when they counted. But you know, X is a wing. You know, he's a wing playing the 4. You know, he's very skilled. He can do just about anything on the floor, and we ask him to do pretty much everything out of that position. He can shoot it from 3. He can put the ball on the floor and attack the basket. He's very unselfish. I mean, very unselfish now, and really wants to find guys and get guys to basketball and loves doing it. And so I'm not surprised by that. You know, I thought he made one play. I almost thought you were talking about the play. He drove and he turned the ball over because he wanted to pass it and he should have shot it, you know. So he's unselfish. He's always looking to give it up, and it doesn't matter who it is. He's going to make the right basketball play.